Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toplofty Lounge, episode 88 Conversations for the Elevated. Welcome to all my fellow snobs. I am your host, Science Fiction Snob, as you know. This week on the program, we're going to talk a little bit about board games. If you didn't know, Cam is a big lover of board games, so that's what we're going to talk about. And speaking of Cam, let me introduce my co-host. He is the lover of dice and all things cardboard. It's Cam. Say hello, Cam.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening. Yes, and we like to be late. Yeah, we're always late. Yeah. All right. So, Cam, tell me, what did you do to improve your sci-fi snobbery this week? Anything interesting?
Yes, I have delved extensively into a sci-fi board game called Eclipse: Second Dawn for the Galaxy.
On that's on computer though, right? Not like
Well, it's actually a board game, which we will discuss later. But there is
you've been playing the electronic version. Is that
yes,
correct?
there is a Steam version of it that some Canadian I know, mentioned to me.
Was it
And
Mark Carney?
No, I would refuse communications from
Was
that gentleman.
it Catherine O'Hara?
No, but sadly she has passed away, and
Great actress. Oh,
yeah,
very sad. All right,
yes,
well,
very.
let's not. We could spend all forever guessing.
So I've played probably 20 games of it so far, and I've only played live against one person, and I beat the living crap out of them.
That's
but-
not what I heard. I heard it was very close,
Oh,
like
so
4 points.
keep telling yourself that. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've what else have I done? Oh, another unnamed person has been pushing this game on us, and I'm not going to name it because they're dicks, and I will not give them my money, but I will play the game. And we're supposed to be doing that. So
Try it.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Why don't you talk about that for a minute?
All right. No, I won't. I'm keeping that kind of. I was keeping that quiet for a while until we're ready to do something with it. But
okay,
anyway.
I didn't mention what it is. So incidentally,
oh no, okay. I mean, you can. It's not a big deal, but
well, I didn't name it, so we're fine. But I must also apologize that I am eating right now, so I will try not to make disgusting sounds on the microphone.
Professional.
I'm sorry.
See what I have to work with here, people.
Why don't you say hello to everyone in the chat since they've been kind enough to join us?
Chewing and swallowing. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's say hello, everybody. First off, I'm going to say hello to Weatherman. Good to see Weatherman again, and thank you for becoming a channel member. We just started that. It's a new thing. We've got 2 channel members. I'm going to mention them. Weatherman and Jan Schroeder is also a channel member. Came on the Babylon 5 program. So thank you. They are both at the upstart snob level. So just learning to be snobs and working on it and practicing and stuff like that. That's good. It's good. I appreciate that. So thank you. Who else is in the stream tonight? We're getting going. It says we've got 8 people. Let's go through and double check. Of course, Tabletop Tavern is in the stream. That's Jeff. He just finished his stream on his show talking about something to do with tabletops. I'm sure role-playing games.
We weren't listening.
Well, I was listening a little bit, but then I have to go and make sure this show is ready to go.
We had 2 great guests.
We had 2. I know it's easy for you. You just show up and hello, I'm here.
I just bring the personality, buddy.
But some of us have to actually do some work.
Mm-hmm. Some of you get paid for it too, and I don't, of course.
Cam is not Cam. Neutron is in the chat. He's saying hello to myself and to Cam. I guess he's being nice. Who else is in the chat? Mobius, I guess. It's not. YouTube is doing this weird thing with putting numbers after people's names. I think Mobius is. I'm just wondering if they put that in there, or you probably put that in there yourself. So anyway, Mobius, awesome Dube 40, awesome 142. That's a good number. 42 is in the chat. Good to see you. JT, good to see you. Good to see you again. Of course, Outpost Nerd agrees with me. See, Cam's being rude. Yeah, but that's what you get. You get what you pay for, right? Oh, and Jeanette's here too as well. Jeanette, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. Maybe speak to your husband about how to park his truck. Maybe he yeah, can work on that. Oh, Cam is getting dissed on the show already. You bring personality. It must be a light load. Oh, ouch. Ouch. Practicing your pinky work while drinking. Yes, very good. Excellent. That is the first thing. You got to get that pinky out there. That's awesome.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention that part of the this week's sci-fi work was a little interview we had on last Wednesday on the Babylon 5 show with a fine gentleman, Peter Jurasik, who couldn't have been nicer and more delightful and an interesting guest. So I can't express my gratitude enough for that.
Yes, we all do. Yes, evening, gents, and Rude Cam. Yes, Snuggy is Cam's favorite troller. So it was a great interview. I enjoyed it, and I think it went really well. I think our questions were well thought out and reasonable. We got as many as we could in from the chat. Now we didn't get everyone in, but
well,
I mean, we got a fair amount of questions. But the thing is also we didn't want to wear Peter out, and plus we want him to come back so we can answer more questions.
Well, unfortunately, we had a little bit of a technical problem with some echo on our end. He sounded good the whole time, but everyone else had some echo because he was ready to go longer. I think he seemed like he was. I mean, he was literally like, "Hey, whatever you guys want to do, sure." I mean, it was. He had many more stories to tell, and like you said, but we don't want to wear him out, like you said, and maybe another time.
And it was about a 2-hour interview, and it was only the last 15 minutes or so we had problems. So you can listen, and then the questions will echo a little bit, but he'll come in nice and clear. So if you can just sort of get past that, you can get the last couple questions in there, and we were moving towards it anyway. But we will have him back at some point as long as he agrees. We're happy to have him back, and it was very cool of Peter to stop by, and we really appreciated it. And I think we had a great interview. Oh, there's Zaid Comics. Good to see you, Zaid. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Phil.
Okay, what else do I have to talk about? For me, Cam, I started rewatching Samurai Jack this week. I watched the first 3 episodes or something like that. Really good. I've watched some of it before, but it was kind of in janky order, so I'm going to try and go back and watch it all together, from front to back, so to speak. And I'm enjoying it already. Good show. Have you seen Samurai Jack?
I've not seen all that much of it. I've seen some of it, and I would like to. I wouldn't mind rewatching the whole thing.
You've seen some? Gennady Tartakovsky, great animator, great animation. Animation holds up. Good story. I keep mentioning Primal all the time too. I'm watching Primal. It's on tonight sometime. It's on Sundays. I watch it. Oh,
there's the cat again. Okay, I guess I got to carry the show because Snob is unprofessional.
I'm just throwing things at the cat there.
That'll work. That's it all.
Yeah, that doesn't usually work. Oh,
it just wants love. Bugging you. Anyway, so it's going to be one of those shows. Apparently, did I mention since
no, we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of the cat.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to mention that. Again, I'm sure thanks to Mr. Jurasik's generous appearance, you are up to 694 subscribers, which is unheard of.
True? That is a new high. That's right. We're almost at our goal of 700. It's crazy. Crazy.
JT wants to know what I'm eating. Well, I'm eating some. I'm eating 3-day leftover pizza. Well, 2 days. 2-day leftover pizza. But boy, is it good! It really is.
Is it cold?
No, I put it in the air fryer, and it's actually pretty crispy. The crust is not crispy like crunchy, but just got a little bit It's not like the soggy microwave pizza.
Yeah. All right. I think this is great. I think it's time for me to start drinking. All right. Okay. Now, okay, before we get into the show, Cam, I did want to mention a couple of the channel things since we've kind of pushed to the next level. We've opened up things like that. So let's just let everyone know about them, what's going on. So we are open for super chats, of course, and super thanks and super stickers. I don't quite know what how the super stickers work.
E-beggar.
You just click on them and just away you go. But okay, well, let's mention memberships though. If you want to be a member, we appreciate any support that you can get. We've got 2 levels. We got the Upstart Snob and the Parvenu level. Upstarts will give you, access to loyalty badges, emojis, that kind of thing. I'm going to start putting, we'll be doing our regular shows live and that sort of thing, but I'm going to put them on for members only for a couple days so that people can see that. And I'm going to start doing some more videos, like recorded stuff. And those will be on for members so that you get to see them a little early and then everybody else can see them after. But it's no problem. So if you want to, if you are interested in becoming a member, hey, go ahead. We appreciate that. It's a way you can support us. If not, that's fine too. We're still gonna, we're not gonna change. We're still gonna be a lot of audience participation and interaction, and the only thing is that any super chats, that sort of thing, Cam has to read out. So if you want Cam to say something that's crazy, then that's probably the best way to do it. And we all know. Remember this demonstration of I think Jeff got you to do that, didn't he? Yeah. Firefly is the best sci-fi show. That's a quote from Cam. Yeah. And we got some emojis in there. So if you want to use those, we've got 3. And hey, I'm willing to. I don't know what you guys want. So if you guys have emojis that you wanted me to put up there, have some ideas about this kind of thing, hey, I'm willing to hear them out, and I'll try to implement them as best that I can.
I would like to note that Weatherman is an extremely generous gentleman, and I certainly appreciate his friendship and his viewing.
Yes, we both do. And he is using some of the. Whoops, I got the wrong one there. He's using some of the 3 emojis that I've made up: the cheers, which is mine; the red, which is Cam; and of course, Cam annoyed, which is if you're angry, that's a good one too. It's a good one to do. Not so Snugs is not surprised that Cam likes that show. That's true.
Which show? Samurai Jack?
No, I think.
Firefly. No, of course that's
Cam hates that show. Of course,
it's my year of honesty. So, or I should say, my year of increased honesty. So I'm obligated to say that Firefly sucks. Thank you.
Cam does not like Firefly. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So So if you want to support us, it's great. We'll keep doing the show. But if you support us, yeah, we appreciate that. And what is the money? Anyone who supports us, what is that money going towards? Do you know?
It's going for your snowblower fuel.
Snowblower fuel. Yeah, I have a big. My machine runs on gas. I just use it's a garden tractor. Those garden tractors. I got one of those, and it's got a big snowblower on it that I put on top, and I just drive it down the driveway. My driveway is like 300 meters long. Like, it's huge. No, it's not going towards that.
300 what?
300 meters.
I don't know what that means.
It's like a yard. A meter is like a yard for you guys. Think of it that way.
I'm not into your fancy talk.
That's right. I know you do. You're not worldly. You're stuck in your own little bubble. Yeah. So it's not going for that. No. We got to get that anyway. Yeah, it's going towards the most important thing in the world, hookers and blow, of course. I mean, that's what. No, I'm joking, of course. No, it's going to go all towards the show. Some stuff with Restream, and then we're working on some things, talking about maybe some equipment to get things better out there, but I'm not sure there. But the first thing is supporting this Restream and getting that going and making it work. So yeah. Oh, hey. Manshear is, I'm hoping saying that right, wants a holographic board game. Come on, technology. Yeah, we all would like that. There's Steam has a lot of holographic, it's not holographic per se, but it's the VR stuff, which is kind of getting into there. I'm not sure how that works. I don't have that stuff myself, but there's probably some stuff like that. I think we kind of want holographic. You kind of want like AR, augmented reality. All right. Well, Snugs is in for the that's good. Everyone likes that. Okay, so I think we've taken care of all the e-begging stuff, as Cam likes to call it. I think we can move right into the show. Shall we do that? Did I miss anything, Cam?
Big announcement.
Oh, all right. Well, we got to thank. Whoops, sorry. Snugs gifted 5 memberships. Thanks a lot, Snugs. Appreciate that. And those gave who everybody who's on the show.
Yes,
got those memberships.
How'd you do that, Snuggy? You robbed me.
Q2 got a membership. Inverse Opinion, Jeff Pod. That's Jeff from Tabletop. Eric and Paul Bacheletta. Cam. Sorry. Thanks, Snugs. We appreciate that. And you inadvertently pushed some of the lurkers because I haven't seen these. Some of these names before. Well, welcome. Welcome, Eric. Haven't seen you before. Inverse Opinion. Have you seen Inverse Opinion before? I think we have we? I'm not sure.
Well, welcome in any case.
And Paul, welcome. Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the show. Yeah.
Outpost Nerd. I think that there's I'm pretty sure there's a setting somewhere that you have to toggle to be able to get gifted subs. I don't remember where it is offhand.
Oh yeah. I can show you that afterwards. We weren't getting we had some super chats earlier in the show. Sorry, like in December when we first were monetized, and then it stopped, and I'm like, what's going on? And Jeff was like, hey, you can't send super chats anymore and stuff. And I'm like, well, what the hell? I dug into it and I finally found it. There's these toggles that toggle themselves off for some reason. I don't know why, but it happened. Well, all right. Well, thanks, Snugs. Appreciate it.
I think Snugs has probably just tripled your income, your all-time lifetime income for the channel.
Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Even by that. Yeah, pretty much. Thanks. We appreciate it. Okay. Well, let's get into the show. Shall we? Let's go right into the, I guess we'll go right into the slides, Cam. I got some slides. I'm going to start with you.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, go ahead. This is your pick. So Cam and I, we went through and we just said, hey, what are some of our favorite board games? Let's talk about them. I thought, I thought we should talk about that. Okay. Let's do that one first. Paul, you've been unearthed like a worm, following here and there with the B5 stuff. Yes, but I've never seen you in the chat. Right on. You've been one of the lurkers in the chat.
Hope you're enjoying it.
Exposed. Damn it. All right. Okay. So Cam, this is what game is this? Now, of course, this is the board game version, of course, but
well, this is actually the first version of the game. As you notice, it says Eclipse New Dawn for the Galaxy. There's a second edition out called Eclipse Second Dawn for the Galaxy. They're both great, to be honest with you, but I think I should roast Snob for being out of date. The new one I think came out in.
You didn't say you wanted to do the second. You said Eclipse. You said which is the first one. You didn't.
Which one are we playing currently?
What? That's
which version are we playing currently?
This is not. This is
okay. Whatever. I will roll with it. I will roll with your unprofessional lack of.
Which game? Hold on. Which game do you have?
I actually have the second edition one. A friend of mine.
What are you rich or something? I only got.
No, I did. I didn't have the first one. My old gaming buddy is the one who owned that.
Well, fancy.
Yeah. And the second one, I'll tell you though, if you don't have a little bit of savings,
thanks, Weatherman, for the membership. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Oh my gosh, Weatherman.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're a hero. Anyway,
you forced Paul to ask questions now. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. That's a good question. All right, go ahead.
Please do, and welcome, PB.
PB. Oh yes, hey, welcome.
So the first version here, which as you see, came out in 2011. I believe that's accurate. I think that the second version came out in 2020, maybe 2019.
Yeah, it's pretty fancy. It's nice.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
The games are very similar. They
Yeah.
didn't change a whole lot. But basically, this is a 4X game. Hey, Snob, why don't you tell them what 4X stands for while I finish this pizza?
4X means it's got 4X's in the title. Oh wait, no, that's not right. 4X means expand, it's usually explore, expand, something, and exterminate. What's the third one for? Exterminate's the last one. Explore, expand. I can't remember.
Exploit,
yes, and
right.
Exterminate.
Paul,
so
yeah,
basically, 4X games, like video games.
Yeah, okay. Shut up for a second.
All right. Hey, whose show is this? Wait a second.
Well, apparently yours, but
Damn.
Paul, yes, people have often compared it to Twilight Imperium, or being a Twilight Imperium killer. It was for me. Twilight Imperium is for people that hate themselves or that hate their fellow gamers, because it is very burdensome to play. I'm not saying it's a bad game, and it's on its 4th version, I think, at this point. I played the 3rd version. I've never played the 4th version. I was at a con one time, and we stupidly decided to start that process at about 11 p.m. I don't think we got through the first turn.
What? 11?
Yeah, I have the second. I have the 3rd edition. I think there were 2 expansions for it, and I had those, but I think I sold those off because they were out of print or something. Anyway, it's never going to make it to my table again. It requires 3 players, I think, and that's not always easy to get. Whereas Eclipse can go from like 2 to 9 players, I think. And yes, it was definitely a killer of many other types of games, 4X games, and is honestly it has to be my top 3 games of all time. We, like I mentioned, this friend of mine and I played the hell out of this game, mostly at 2 players because there were just 2 of us. But it's really probably better at 3 or more players. I know a lot of people play with like a ton of players. Like I said, I think it goes up to 9 or something absurd. But I think the base game is 6 players. You can do, and a lot of people do it that way. Snob, how many times have you played the original version of this game?
A bunch. I can't. I don't know.
Have you won any of them?
12. I don't remember. It was quite some time ago. Yeah, but I will say that let me just comment on a couple of things you said. Yeah, the original game is 6 players. The expansion, I believe, gives you another 3 of different players, so you can go up to 9. It's I don't agree so much that it is a Twilight Imperium killer. People still like Twilight Imperium, but Twilight Imperium is long and it's detailed. And I've only played it once or twice, and we got through a couple turns, and that was like, it was 4 hours to get through. Like, it's like an hour a turn for us. Now, of course, we were kind of new at it, but sometimes like Twilight Imperium can go 6-12 hours to play a big game. Eclipse is much more forgiving and a lot shorter. So, I think our average games were 3 to 4 hours with sort of like 6 people. So, that's kind of why it is the, Twilight Imperium killer. But it's kind of different from other 4X games in that it's kind of got a bit of a Euro feel. Would you agree with that, Cam?
Yeah, that's the reputation it has. Do you want to explain what that means to the folks?
Okay, yeah. Does everyone know the difference between a Euro game versus a Mera trash game, which is usually what it's called? So, a Euro game is the Europeans are not all aggressive and violent like you Americans are. So right. They tend to like games where you kind of do your own thing and you don't pick on anybody else.
Low conflict.
Very little conflict. Now, this is a 4X game, so it doesn't have low conflict.
It's a hybrid. This is actually a hybrid.
It's a hybrid, but it does have some of those elements of typical Euro. And of course, the Ameritrash is sort of what the other ones cause, and those are the other one is called. And those are games with like lots of conflict. For example, Axis and Allies, Fortress America, which I have both of those. Those would be considered Ameritrash. Lots of conflict, lots of dice, lots of rolling. Get to roll a lot of dice.
Yeah, and I think the trash comes from the fact that there's a lot of pieces. Meaning
usually more pieces,
combatants.
But they all have their place. I like them too. Weatherman, Yeah, 70. That's probably the cost for the new the second Dawn of the Galaxy, the second edition. But I gotta say, look,
I don't know. I think
that's
I think
probably
it's
about
even
right.
more expensive. I think the other one's
It
like,
might be more than that.
well,
But listen,
it's hard to get a hold of. Actually, this company is crazy in they don't distribute normally. It's very hard to buy this game.
well, they're are they Swedish or something? They're
No, they're Finnish actually.
Finnish. Okay, well, that's the same thing. Uh, yeah. So, but I mean, look, the second edition is really nice. Like the pieces and the way they've got set up. Like I bought the original, and then I spent some money, getting those acetate plastic. Some guy was making them covers so you don't knock all your little squares around all the time.
Yeah.
You put on the thing. That was a real pain in the ass. I bought some of those. I mean, people did all kinds of crazy stuff. Building up, so your ships can sit on top of the some.
Well, they also had the original, the base game just had the ships are all generic. They were all the same, except for the colors. And then they came out with a ship pack, so all the ships were unique looking.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I give a crap about.
It makes it look nice. I mean, it doesn't really.
It's fine. It's just I wouldn't, go out of my way for it. I also don't care about plastic pieces as much in most games. I'm just as happy with a token or something. But yeah, Weatherman, $270. That's it's expensive, and because it's largely out of. I don't know what the actual MSRP is, but it's definitely going for higher because it's so hard to find at this point.
Yeah, no, it was going for that price. I remember when they first pulled it out and they kickstarted or something. It was it was up there, 170, something like that. Snob is a typical Canadian, smug condescension attitude of moral superiority towards Americans. Things that go up there in China these days stop. Yeah, it's going well. It's not going.
That's right. That's right, PB.
We're gonna separate soon. Listen, the only reason I am like that is because these Americans that I'm surrounded by, like Jeff and KAM, they're
Jason.
always giving me a hard time. So if I sometimes lose my cool and hit back, you have to understand.
Yes, your weak little kitten flailing. Just keep doing that. Make yourself feel better.
We gotta try.
Okay. Anyway, so how many times have you played the second edition of the game?
I've never played the second. Well, not in real life. I've never played the second.
Okay, so a total you played once on the electronic version.
Well, once against you, Cam. I've played a couple times.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
Did you win any of them? Did you win any of those?
Some of the people. Oh yeah. I'm going through a couple of the slides here that were. This is the original.
Yes, and the okay, yeah, that's right. The new one looks largely the same. Again, it's a hex-based game. I guess we should explain this a little more. I could talk about Eclipse all night if anybody could tolerate it, but you do have these space sectors, where basically there's one in the middle, and so the theme of this game is that there was basically these civilizations and something happened, and now they're like re-exploring the universe. So you start out and every player has like a home sector, and then there's a middle, you're surrounding the middle with hexes, so you have a different ring. You have the inner ring, the middle ring, and then outer sectors, which as you see there with the hexes, they can kind of go in different directions. And it's the map that you end up building. And no one's connected to begin with, but then as the game goes on, you explore the different sectors and they all do different things and have different features and so on and so forth.
Different 3 types of planets, 3 different planets that you can get in each one. Sometimes there's 1, 2, 3, and basically they map up to the resources, either money, technology, like a lab planet or materials planet, like a mining planet.
Yeah, and what you were saying about the Euro element of it is the economic part of the game is what's typically considered the Euro. So you see the little cubes or the little squares there. So there, you are pushing cubes on this where you're taking on. You have a population track. That's what the cubes are representing. Basically, your settlers going into the different planets and such. And like Sam was saying, depending on the type of planet, you gain money from it, and economic, or you gain scientific advancements, or you gain materials like mining. And then each of those things has a different function in the game. And you have a variety of actions you can take. Explore, mention one. You could build things. You can move about the board. You could research things. You could upgrade your ships. That's okay. You want to talk about the ship blueprint thing? Because that's one of the things I think really well. It's one of my favorite things.
I didn't pull up. I didn't get a picture of that.
Okay, can you explain it, or would you like me to do it?
You know what? Actually, before we do that, though, I think you should talk about the the turn aspect of it and why this game is somewhat unusual because of the influence aspect. Do you want to talk about that, or do you want me to do it?
You go ahead.
Okay, so the influence aspect is that you can basically take as many actions as you want every turn, right? There's no set.
Right.
Everybody gets 2 actions or anything like this. So this is kind of unusual for the game. But what it is that every action you take, you have to it's going to cost you more money, right? So there are things you can do, include increase how much influence you have, but if you go above the amount of influence that you could spend, normally you can do 2 or 3 things a turn, then you have to pay for them with money, and you can kind of go bankrupt, and then you have to uninfluence various sectors that you have, and if you have forced to uninfluence them, well, guess what? All the if I uninfluence this sector, then all the stuff I have on there that the various, if I've taken over this mining planet or this science planet or whatever, then now I can't, I've lost those resources for the next turn. So it's kind of unusual in that way, because most games don't have that. They have a sort of like, oh, you do 2 things, you do a certain amount of things. So that is a kind of a different aspect of the game that is very intriguing and very interesting.
Well, yeah, and it is, and it's so you're constantly banking. You're fighting versus your production. So what Snob was saying, you're producing these 3 resources, but the money one is what's governing how many actions you can take. And yes, it might sound boring, but you can bankrupt yourself into a loss in this game if you blow it.
And you can expand too fast, and you might go, hey, I'd love to. I look at that sector. I could take it real easy from my enemy, but if I do, I'm going to go over influence this much, and I'm going to, my economy is going to crash.
Yes.
I won't be able to hold it because I don't have enough influence. And
another interesting related thing to that is, so when you're you don't want to take any more actions, you pass. And so basically that means, you can't act anymore, with the exception, you actually can act in a limited fashion. It's like you have secondary actions. So it's like, instead of 2 moves, you get 1 move, or instead of 1 upgrade, you get, 2 upgrades, you get 1. So that's kind of cool. So it's like, you can react. Those are called reactions, I think. You can react to someone else. Like if they invade you and you were unprepared and you passed because of you didn't want to stretch your economy too much, you can do something about it. But passing is another fascinating thing. And again, when you're playing them, it's like, passing at the right time is very important, because that also lets you go first on the next round, which typically the thing that affects is the research track. So, man, I mean, this game, we should have just done a whole episode on this game, because it's really complex and awesome. But basically, there's this set of resource tiles that come out, and everyone's drawing from the same ones, and there's a limited number of them, and they come out randomly. So there are some that are really super hot that everybody wants. So if you're not going first in a round and it comes up, you're just going to miss out. Anyway, so that's why, again, another reason why you might want to stop your actions early, even if you do have the economy to support it, because there's a critical thing you're looking for.
And you don't lose out. Like if you end your turn early, it's not like you lose out, because then you have let's say you have X amount of, you've got 10 money, and then you're gonna make 4 next turn. Well, that's less you got to spend. You're doing good, right? So,
yeah, actually, that's right.
You pretty much got to spend money all your actions, but at some point, if you only have 10 money and you want to do each action, your first action might cost you 1, your second 2 more, and then 4 more of that. So
it's not linear. It's not linear either. It goes. The population tracks are non-linear, as are the actions. So the more you go, the more expensive it gets. But there might be times when you're just stuck. It's like, well, I would love to do a build action. I want to build a ship or something, but I just don't have the resources for it.
So you got to balance that as well.
Right. And the other thing we should mention is there are different factions in this game. There's the Terran faction, which is everybody could play Terran, but then there are alien factions, and you can only play one. And the way that the game works is the player boards, which is like a big mat actually, has, like every color has two sides. One of them is Earth or Terran, and then the other side is an alien one. So, in choosing for setting up the game, the way that you choose the things is important, because if you want to block someone from playing a particular alien race, you could take the Terran version of that, and then they literally don't have access to the the piece, the game board to play it. So it's like there's, even at the beginning of the game, there's like this jockeying in trying to manipulate the situation to your advantage. Did you ever do that, or did you just go free?
No, we would just go, hey, just go whatever. I mean, it wouldn't be. Well, maybe, who knows? Maybe there's other people like,
well,
I don't think I
Canadians are
played
supposed to
enough
be
that
agreeable.
we didn't play enough that everybody said, I hated those guys. Right. I got to make sure that Bob doesn't play the whatevers, because he's a jerk with them.
Yeah, well, good luck. After you played a little more, maybe you'll change your mind on that. But so just for reference, everyone, and again, I don't claim to be an expert player at any game, because I just like doing cool stuff. I don't typically care about winning all that much unless it's against Snop. But I've probably played the original game, over 100 times easy, and the second version less, because I just haven't had a game group that's as easily accessible. I've probably played that one 20 times. And then of course, in the partial week here, probably 20 times on the electronic version. But so Snob's a noob. And
you were playing just before we started the stream here. I'm like, what's that clickety clacking going on? Let's start to focus, because I got to finish this game.
I had a hot game. It was really good. Anyway, okay, so you want to talk about the blueprints now?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so I mentioned the research track that you get, and so some of the things like affect your economy. It's like there are different kinds of, there's advanced planets and regular planets. If you look
you can see in the picture.
Yeah, right. The one with the little star, that's an advanced planet, and you can't colonize there unless you have. Oh, you also have limited colonization. Typically, you have only 3 colonization ships you can use per turn, and normally. Yeah. I'm sorry. What was that?
They're usually called rounds.
You're right, sure.
And you can you do a number of turns per round or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, doesn't matter.
But that's a development you can get, as part of your research track, you can get that, and then that will allow you to do, to colonize those other planets, or double colonize them in some cases. But so there's things that kind of affect, the game in an overall sense, but then a lot of them are also ship upgrades. So in the game, there are, each faction has access to 4 ships. There are a few expansion ones that actually have like 3 ships, but typically each one, they have a small, like an interceptor, which is like a fighter, and then a cruiser, and then a dreadnought, and then a space station. And the 3 are available to everybody, but you have to develop the space station, starbase, is what they call them, if you want to be able to build those. And they have different costs and different capabilities and things. Basically, the dreadnoughts you could do the most with, because they have the most slots. But on your board, there's these, they call them blueprints. So for each of the different ship types, they have spaces in which you can put things on it. They have to have a power source. The ships have to have a drive, meaning so they can move around. The starbase can't have a drive, actually. Then they have weapons, and then they have hull points, so basically how tough it is, like hit points in D&D. And then there are computers which give you better odds of hitting, and then you have shields, which reduces your opponent's points in hitting. The combat is kind of boring. It's really honestly the worst part of the game. The setup for the combat is the interesting part, meaning the way that you build your ships against your opponents and what they have. This is a game where you really, it has the reputation of being a Euro, which is kind of a solo play. Most Euros are, you're kind of playing solitaire in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But this one, you really have to keep track of what your enemies are doing, how many, what technologies they have, what their ships are, where their ships are, how many rounds, how many actions they have, what their economy is. So you really have to be tracking all of this, and it's challenging, and interesting.
It's the least Euro-ish of a Euro game, and the fact that you're competing for victory points, of course, and of course in the center is the galactic hub, and it's worth the most victory points. So
right.
It kind of encourages people to get in there and fight it out if you can, or at least you don't want to let the other guy take that.
Yeah. and there's other. Oh, we're losing viewers because this is so boring to them. But we gotta go
Nice
forward.
webcam.
There's also, as you see in the middle there, there's kind of the square with the rounded corner. That's a discovery. So like the different, not only are there different planets on things, there's like discovery. Again, this is like ancient technology that exists. So if you go there and you explore there, you can take that and you can either take it as victory points or you can take whatever it is. These are all blind. You don't know what they are to begin with. So it's like it might be some kind of advanced weapon system or extra resources or whatever. So it's different every time you're playing it. And it like I said, having played it so many times, for me, it's not a game that gets old at all. It's like every time it's interesting still, it doesn't feel repetitive.
All right, good. Did we miss anything? It's a good game. I enjoy it. Yeah, I don't think that Twilight Imperium is, they're different. Twilight Imperium is much longer, a little more rules heavy, and a little more difficult to learn. But they each have their place, and I think that I haven't played the fourth edition, but I think it makes it a little bit more streamlined, a little easier. I mean, each edition got better, I believe. You mainly played the third edition, Cam. You had it. I played the third a couple times, and yeah, it is tough. But different games. Yep. But Eclipse is usually seen as an accessible 4X and one that isn't going to take, all day to play on a Sunday afternoon. I think they say 2 hours, but, ours usually went 3 to 4. But we usually played with 6 players and stuff, like we had a full table. But yeah. All right. Did I miss anything? Can we move on?
Yes.
Okay.
We missed a ton, but yeah, we could move on.
Cam's favorite. All right. Well, maybe we'll come back to it if at the end if we really want. All right. So this next one is my pick. Oh wait, no, this is the fourth. Okay. We got one more thing of there's a fairly typical game. That's how the board usually looks. The circles are your influence. You put those on there, and that's like, I've influenced the sector, and now you got to pay more money for your widening empire. All right, this next one was mine. War of the Ring. Cam, you've played War of the Ring, haven't you? Probably. No, I wouldn't say so. All right. Oh, we lost Cam for a second there.
Yeah, I can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're there.
Okay. All right. War of the Ring. Yes, I actually own this game, and
yes, I own a copy too.
I've played it a couple times. I am not a fan.
Really? You're not a fan?
No. To be honest, I might not have played it enough to really appreciate it. I don't know. I heard so much about it before I played it that people were praising it up and down, and I was just like, I don't know. It felt restricted. It feels dated, to be honest with you. I should try it again, really honestly, to see if I like it more. But talk about a long game. This is another long one.
Yeah, it's long. I mean, overall, I like it. I'm not saying, but your criticisms are valid. It is a little bit. I mean, it's not so much dated, but there are a lot of games have tried to be more streamlined and make things a little, move a little faster and quicker. And I mean, I'm not saying War of the Ring is the way opposite of that, but a lot of the games that came out in the last 10 years focus on that and trying to make them shorter. But it's not really focused on that. It's before that time. But it's basically the the movie, the Lord of the Rings movies, and you play either the Shadow or the Fellowship, and you can. I mean, these are popular games in that you get to play the movie, so to speak, right? So you are either moving the Fellowship around, trying to get the ring into Mount Doom, or you're the Shadow trying to stop them.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was a big popular thing for people to say it's like a movie in a box. For every damn game that came out with a theme, which is, I don't know. This is the second edition of the game. If you have a second edition of the game and it's not cleaned up those kinds of things and streamlined it and made it play well, then it's not a particularly good game, or not particularly good designers, in my opinion. Now. You could argue that, well, people don't want to change what they like, but again, if it's clunky, that's the way I would describe it. It's
a little bit clunky.
Yeah.
You would say.
Maybe
Well, I
a little.
like it. I enjoyed it. I have a copy as well. Like I say, you get to do the things that you saw in the movie, change the things, whatever. Clue is a movie in a box. No, that's
No,
not
it's the box in a movie.
box in a movie. They made the game first.
Excuse me.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I think it's a little bit weighed on the side of evil here. But there's you can just sort of see the dice at the top. It's an interesting way of choosing your actions with the die rolls and how many you roll and that kind of thing. Can make it a big pain in the ass if you want to do something, but it's an interesting tactic. Oops, I went too far. All right, that's the next one, Cam. We're going to talk about that one. I want to do this one first. Before your next pick. Yeah, so I don't mind it. I enjoyed it. I have a copy. I got another one that fits into this niche a little bit. Played the card game variant at this past Gen Con. Played a little quicker with a lot less
I didn't hear
table
about
space.
that. That's interesting.
Yeah, second edition should fix some of the clunkiness. I never played the first edition, so I can't tell you if it's more or less clunky or not. I mean, there's aspects of the game that probably would be streamlined if it was reinvented today. But
okay, you know what? Here's my challenge.
Kind of like the game. If you like the game, you like the game.
I've said this about a number of games over the years, and if this didn't have Lord of the Rings as a theme, I don't think anybody would play this game.
Interesting.
What do you think?
I don't know that you can divorce the game from the movie and the books and stuff, because I mean that's what it is, right? It's basically the designers go and say, hey, let's make a game so that you can play like the movie and do some different things or do exactly the same things or try this and try that and see what happened. And that's the fan base that they are appealing to. So I don't know if you can divorce it like that. So, but anyway, it's my opinion. I don't know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I mean, you play it because it's the Lord of the Rings, right? Like that's why.
Yeah, but you have to have both elements. You have to have a good game, and you have to have. For me, I like having a good theme, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Or an IP attached to it. And when you fail on one account, it really brings the game down.
I tend to think in games as themes first. And then, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could do, play a game that would be sort of like this, and then design around that. But it can be done the other way too as well. Yeah, this is true.
True, it's true.
A lot of RPGs get a pass because Alien, Star Wars, etc. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You can especially see that in the RPG, the tabletop. A system which might not be as good as something that someone else designed, will get way more popularity because it's got an IP attached to it. Definitely. But some people are trying to break that, like Dean. Dean's not in the chat, I don't think. But yeah, anyway. All right. I've played a couple times. I enjoyed it. Did we finish the games? I think I probably lost all those ones. I hate that when you're playing the shadows get to bring their guys back all the time, and if you lose your good guys, they're gone for good. I was like, oh damn. Yeah, I think I've won as a shadow by basically wearing out the poor. They got their thing too high, and the fellowship. After the fellowship broke up, but Frodo became too corrupted by the ring, and put it on, and then I won. I think that's how I won, as the evil guys. But yeah, it can be hard. The first time I played was years ago. A buddy of mine had a copy, and I played the bad guys, but I unfortunately I attacked and didn't bring in enough guys, and the poor I got the Lich King got wiped out by the damn good guys. I'm like, damn.
that would be the Witch King.
Did I say Lich King? Oh, sorry, yeah. The Witch King of Angmar. Yeah, he got killed. I'm like, what the damn it? I lost one of my good guys. That was annoying. Sorry, I said Lich King. Witch King. Excuse me. All right. Anything else you want to say about Lord of the Rings?
No.
No. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now you put this one, and I hadn't heard of this one. Is this like a cut down version or a different style?
No. Okay.
Totally
So
different. Okay.
yeah, I kind of stumbled onto this game. I hadn't heard about it. Or maybe I stumbled on it when it first came out. Because it did come out just last year, and I got it, I think in the fall of last year. This is a game. The game is based on the Pandemic series of games, meaning that it's roughly using the same sort of mechanics and engine for it, but uh, thematically, obviously, it's very different. It's the War of the Ring, and you're trying. Ultimately, you have to destroy the ring every game to win. But when I say it, so it's like Pandemic in the sense of the way the cards work a little bit, and the way that instead of diseases spreading, it's like enemy troops spreading around and such. But it doesn't have. There are other elements that aren't in there.
Okay, so hold on. Are you playing the board then? Everybody's playing the board. You're teamed up like
yes,
Pandemic,
right. It's a cooperative game. It's a cooperative game. You're playing against the game. Yeah. And my understanding is that this is hard to find. I guess it really made a big splash and people bought them up. I don't know if they have another printing coming out or what. I haven't really paid attention to that. But
well, look at the cool dice tower. I mean, who can?
Yeah, I built the dice tower, and actually the box allows you to store the dice tower. It does have proper storage in the box.
Yeah, who can avoid that? Come on, look at that.
I never use it. I have a different dice tower I use, but it is cool. Granted, it is cool. But once again, swag for games is less impressive to me than it was in the past. I'd rather just play a game without a lot of overhead. This game isn't bad at all. It's the dice tower is there if you want. Like I said, I never use it. You don't need it. And then the Nazgul that are part of the game, they are plastic pieces like on a you can see it there on clear stand, so it looks like they're flying around. The late Nazgul, not the Black Rider version, the ones from the Flying Beasts. And they're kind of a pain. They fall off the stands a little bit and they fall over. And I've been the person I've been playing with. I've been running into them as they were trying to move stuff around the board. Minor little inconvenience. The pieces generally are pretty streamlined and clean to play with. Should I just tell you about how generally the game runs? Okay.
Yeah, because I've never played it. I don't know. And neither is Weatherman. He doesn't know either. So I'm sure everyone's interested here.
Let's see. Okay. So it plays in there's different modes. You can play different levels of difficulty and everything. But the uniform parts of it, it's there's different missions. I think there's 24 missions or objectives they're called. That you play, and like the basic, like the learning game, there's 4, and the in every game, destroy the ring is the final mission you have to do. You have to complete all the other objectives before you do that one, and it's always how you win the game. If you complete that mission, you win the game. If you don't, you don't. So and it's kind of specific requirements, but the other ones you choose randomly. And in the game, it goes from 4 to 6 that you can play. I've played as many as 8, just because I played it so many times that I got used to it. Got used to beating it. So which one to spice things up a little bit. And some of them are kind of generic, and some of them are very specific. So you have a lot of the different characters. You have everyone from the Fellowship, and then Faramir, Galadriel, Gollum.
Even Boromir?
Yes, Boromir. Actually, the hobbits are paired. So Sam and Frodo are like one character, and Merry and Pippin are one character.
Because they're like half men. So
yeah, exactly. And each player plays 2 characters. Anyway, so you set up this, the missions, and it might require you to take certain characters, because it's like Gandalf, Gandalf fighting the Balrog is one of them, for example. So you have to play Gandalf, but other ones are generic. So sometimes you'll be restrained to play certain ones, and then you can randomly choose the other ones, and then every player gets 2. And then you have all these objectives are out there, and then you could go about them in any order you want, with the exception of destroy the ring, which has to be last. And you go, you basically just go through your turns, and then you have the setup is a little bit fiddly. You have a deck that has basically 4 different suits. You have rings, swords, cloaks, and I'm playing hearts, and they all have a different function. But a lot of the things is like if you want to take over an enemy stronghold, you have to have 3 swords to do it. If you want to create troops, you need a heart. If you want to, obviously, Frodo needs 5 rings to be able to destroy the ring. And then what was the cloaks? Cloaks allow you to move around without being spotted by the Nazgul, essentially. And Frodo's the only one that needs to worry about that. And and there are secondary functions. These things have multiple functions in the game, and so basically you discard a card to do that, or to trigger some other ability. And each of the characters has their own special set of abilities. They have like 2 or 3 special abilities. And so there's a ton of variation in not only the individual characters, but the combinations of characters you're playing. So that's one thing I really love in games is, player powers, they call it. And I really enjoy that part of it. But it's also kind of unique in that on each player's turn, you have, you have one of your characters takes 4 actions, and then the other one takes 1 action. You can't split it up like, I want this guy to take 3 and this guy to take 2, or this guy to take 5 or whatever. It's pretty strict that way. So you're constantly having to make these choices about, well, this guy needs to do this to put out that fire, et cetera, et cetera. So, and I think there's 5 actions you can take. You can move, you can do a combat, you can try to close a strong, take over an enemy stronghold. You can prepare, which means you take one of your cards because you're limited on hand size. You can only have 7 cards in hand. And so, if you're not careful, you run over that and you got to discard them. And it's all precious resources, precious, my precious. So you don't want to get rid of those. So it's this action called prepare that you can only do in a stronghold normally, which basically lets you get a token for the card type. So you discard the card and you get a token of the same type, and you have no limit on those. Okay, Weatherman says they're making a second printing of the game but no release date. Okay, so I guess it's still sold out as of right now. Interesting. Snuggy, Bombadil. There is no Bombadil character. They have these cards called event cards that you put into the deck, and there is a Tom Bombadil event card. So what I was saying about the deck is you set it up, and there's these things called Skies Darken, which is basically the bad guys, upping the pressure on you. And so you build this deck where you have, X number of Skies Darken, between 4 and 6 of those. And then the other cards are shuffled in. So then every so often, you shuffle those up, but every so often by the odds, 8 or 9 cards, you're going to get a Skies Darken, which causes you to refresh the shadow deck, which I'll talk about in a minute. And makes the situation worse, basically. So it's kind of this increasing pressure towards the game. And the deck that you have is a limited number of cards, and when you run out of cards, you start to lose very quickly. There's something called a hope track, which it goes from 0 to 8, and you start at 6, and all these things knock it down. Like when Frodo, when he moves, and the Nazgul are chasing him around or whatever, he has to do these searches where you roll dice. There's 2 types of dice in the game. You have the search dice, the combat dice. And the search dice, basically, it has a variety of bad things, but some of them is decreasing your hope. That's the main function of it.
If there wasn't carping and singing show tunes, Cam wouldn't play. So of course there isn't, right?
No, I'm afraid there isn't. Capering, he said.
Capering, excuse me.
But no, I guess you can imagine that if you like Snuggy, to each his own. I don't want to question your lifestyle, but. So the hope track is always a problem. And when you run out of cards, you lose hope. For every card you can't draw, you lose hope. And you've only got 8 to begin with. So very quickly, that'll drain out on you. So like I said, there's all kinds of, you have then, so a player, they take their actions and then they draw 2 cards, and then you play the shadow deck, which it starts off, you play 2 shadow cards, and there's 2 different variations of that. There's either a black or a red. And it's so you turn 1 card over, and if the next card is a black, then you do the black action. And if it's a red, then it's moving troops, moving enemy troops around. So you see the little red meeple there, that's enemy troops. And then there's different kinds of good guy troops. You can see the blue one. There's a blue and a green one there. Like the green is the elf, the blue is Gondor, gray is dwarves, and brown is Rohirrim. Those are basically the different factions. And so the enemy troops, they keep on spawning. The black ones typically spawn them at their different strongholds, and that's analogous to the, like I said, pandemic, where the disease is coming from, and the infected people or whatever, spreading it around. And I haven't played Pandemic in a while, so excuse me if I don't have all the details of that. But then they basically move, and you see the arrows on there on the board. They basically move along specified paths. So it's like, oh, okay, it's going from Ruin to Erebor on the pink path or the orange path or whatever. So, and then each one that comes up, so you don't know where everything's going. They could go a different route or even turn around and do all these different things. So it's completely, you can't, it's not like, oh, okay, I'm just going to do this and everything will be fine. So you constantly have to be like jockeying to keep things under control. And like, for example, if the troops go and they go into one of your strongholds, like you could see there, that's Dal Amroth, I think, on the board at the bottom there. If they go in there and if they ever have enemy troops in one of those locations where you don't have troops, then they take it over, and then you lose 3 hope, which again, having a maximum of 8 hope, losing 3 is a massive hit. So you really can't afford to lose much on this board. So, you're constantly using your troops, and they attack automatically whenever they run into your troops, but you have to take actions to attack their troops. So there's a few actions, but a lot of variability in this, and where you're going with what troop and all the decisions you're making. So it's very engaging. And like I said, very extremely variable too, because you have these 23 different or 24 different missions if you count the One Ring, and so it's always different, depending on what you're doing. And I don't know how many different combinations there are, but I suspect it's one of these things where you're probably never going to run into the exact same thing. Especially when you account for all the different elements of it. Okay, sorry. And the one other thing there, the eye. The eye moves to where like if there's a battle, the eye's drawn there. So as you remember, like at the end of Lord of the Rings, like they were trying to distract the eye so Frodo and Sam could do what they want. So that's an element that's constantly in this game. Is if the eye sits on Sam and Frodo, the Nazgul starts swarming him, and then the other cards come up. Like I said, the black result, it forces you to do a search, and which means the more Nazgul there, the more dice you roll, the more hope you lose potentially. So there's always this pressure on Sam and Frodo. So everything else everyone is doing is trying to ultimately allow him to get to Mordor and get rid of everything. And you need a lot of resources to do it. The game was very difficult. Like the first couple plays, it was just like, oh my God, I'm getting destroyed here, until I figured out, kind of, okay, this is what works and what doesn't work. But it remains challenging. I'm almost always down to the end of the deck where I'm going to lose. It's like, okay, I'm either on the second to last turn or the last turn before I start, falling apart. So an excellent design. I mean, it really, and I think I told you when I got this game last fall or whatever, and I have to have at least 50 plays in on this game, which, it's unusual that I'm able to play a game that much. But yeah, it's interesting every time. It really, I haven't gotten sick of it. I do kind of wish there was a little expansion material at this point, a little something to mix it up, because I have literally played everything.
It's so new. It's 2025. Like, it's very
true. Yeah, they're not going to have that. I imagine they will have an expansion for it at some point, but they haven't even gotten into most people's hands, as Weatherman was mentioning.
They're probably working on an expansion, but they're also,
I'm sure they are. Yeah.
On getting the game out.
And
just before sorry,
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say it's designed by Matt Leacock, who is the designer of Pandemic and other good games. He's a really solid designer.
Just a second. I didn't set this up, but I'm just gonna show this. There is this. Oh no, wrong one. Okay, so there's this Canadian website called Board Game Oracle. I don't know if you guys have in the States or not, or whatever. I mean, I think it's a specific Canadian made one. But what it does is, you can go in there, you can sign in, and you can sort of watch games and see, who has them. You can see, oh, this is below, it's, here, and you can click on certain games and say, hey, I want to follow this game, and it'll give you alerts as to when the game is dropped, it's come into a certain store, how much that store is charging for it, all that kind of stuff. So like I said, I'm not sure if it's this is a Canadian site if you look at the top, But I don't. I'd be surprised if you guys didn't have your own, your own example of it, but or your own setup of it. But that's one way to maybe those of you who are trying to find games. Weatherman, I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but maybe you can check it out. All right, okay, let's go back. Board Game Oracle is the name of it in Canada, anyway. All right, so next one, Cam. Let's just go through this. Next one is also one of yours that you talked about. Now, I haven't played this one. I've played lots of Dune games, but not this one.
Yeah, excellent game. I got this. Boy, when did I get it? It had to have been, I'm guessing 2024 sometime. And I did play this a lot too. Again, being back in, I've recently been able to get some more board gaming in, but back, in 2009 through 2020 something or whatever, I played board games a ton, and I had so many that I rarely got to, because I'm stupid and buy too many games, but I rarely got to really delve into games, and you're really missing out when you do that. But this was a game that I was able to dig into pretty deeply. I haven't played it for a while. I actually just bought a new expansion for it a couple months ago and haven't got to play it. I think there's 2 expansions for this game and a third one coming out. But the base game is pretty solid, and it's essentially a worker placement game.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a game that, as I recall, it ends when a player hits a certain score, and it's one of these things where you're kind of trying to outrun your opponent in certain ways, and get to that jump to win.
No, there's a deck building element though. It's kind of worker placement.
Yes, that's right. Yes, there's you do have a hand, starting hand with common cards. Everyone has the same start, and then you're able to obtain new cards, and as I recall, it's hard to get rid of cards. Usually in deck building, there's a way to get rid of them. You can get rid of them, but it's not super easy to do. But you're getting better cards as you go along, and then you're cycling through this deck as you play. When you run out, you reshuffle and go. And it allows you to do a bunch of different things. But the worker placement is super tight. I played mostly 2-player, and I think there's a dummy 3rd player that goes along with it. If you have 3 or more players, there's not a dummy player. So the dummy player is doing what it's told to, and it's like, it screws you all the time. It takes the action you wanted to take. Again, that makes for a good game though. You've got, when you have these tight choices to make, it's like, oh my God, I want to do that. And, I want to do these 3 things this turn or whatever. And I think you start with only 3 workers, and you can expand to 5, I think, eventually. But you're always jockeying for what you want to do ideally, and rarely you do get to do everything you want to do. But it's really fun. Again, I really enjoyed this game. It also has variable player power, so you're playing like Leto or Baron Harkonnen, and they each have their own special abilities and different ways that they tweak things and play. So that moves any game up a letter grade for me when you have that kind of variability. I hate games that it's like, oh, everybody's just playing the exact same thing, typical Euro kind of thing. But the theme is good. It's well implemented. You feel like, oh yeah, this feels like Dune. When you're doing your actions and such.
Yeah. So I have the updated copy of the original Dune 1979 version of the game, which is more like a war game, and it's got these combat wheels. I'm not a big fan of those things, but this game has been getting a lot of great reviews from people who don't necessarily are big Dune fans. Just the game is popular just for the game that it is. It's got it says it's got 4 expansions out. I'm not sure which was the newest one. Dune Imperium Bloodlines, Immortality, Rise of Ix, which I think was the first one or second, and then Uprising. I think Uprising and Rise of Ix were the first 2, but I'm not sure which is the latest one. But yeah, so it's got 4 out. I'm not sure. I think one of them isn't out quite yet, but yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah. Sting in tiny pants. Yeah, Sting. Everyone likes Sting.
See,
Yeah,
well,
it's more popular than the original Dune game.
yeah, and
The 79 version.
this one
which you
is
can't-
themed, visually themed to the new movies, by the way.
Yeah, it's got the pictures. A lot of the characters will be, you'll recognize. They look like their counterparts.
Yeah, and I also would note that there are, again, I haven't played it in maybe close to a year. Like the other cards and things, it does represent the books fairly well, though. Too, it's not, it does have these other things, and the expansions have characters that weren't in the movie, for example. So it's really good.
No, I one of my I have not played this, and I'm just like, oh, I got to get it. I got to get some games of this in. Give it a try because I've heard so many good things about it.
Paul mentions this is one of his top 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, to be honest. People like this one. It's quite popular, and like I said, even with people who are not Dune fans, like you'd be like, oh, no, these people wouldn't like it. No, they do. Worker placement, card driven. It's not too card deck building. It's not too long. 1 to 2 hours, supposedly 1 to 4 players, I think, is normal. I don't know if the expansions increase that or not.
Maybe a little bit. Okay, you know what? I was forgetting what's going on here. So it's about Dune Uprising. So Dune Imperium was the original game, and then they had
Dune Imperium is the original game, yeah.
And then
it's got 4.
Dune Uprising is like a tweak of the original game, though.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah, it's like I think I'm trying to remember if I even have that one. I think I do. But in any case, I believe that the expansions work with Uprising as well. So it's not like, oh yeah, you gotta throw away that old one and redo it, completely. I think they did mesh them, and I'm trying to remember. I think I do have it because there are different cards, like they updated the deck building cards and such. I know. Boy, like I said, it's been a little bit of time since I played it, and it's just kind of left my mind. But yeah, they are compatible.
Yeah, so let me okay. So Dune Imperium Uprising is a standalone spin-off of Dune Imperium. Expands the game's blend of deck building, worker placement, while introducing new 6-player mode that pits 2 teams against one another in the biggest struggle yet. It works with the Rise of Ix and Immortality. Work with the base game, so you can use it all. So yeah, you're right. It is a bit of a change, and not really an expansion, more of kind of an expansion. Just sort of seems, but
there is new content in it. It's not just like a second edition, exactly. So
that's we're going to talk about that. Okay, so Paul's way ahead of us. Uprising standalone, Immortality, and Bloodlines. Bloodlines the weekest. Okay. There is
a new one coming out in 2025, I believe, too.
Yeah, there's an electronic version on Steam that's solid. Yeah, it's on sale for $20 Canadian, but
I'm
like
sorry,
$4 American or something. But
I'm sorry, he said he's right. Bloodlines is the 2025. Is that out already? Is Bloodlines out already? 2025. I guess it is.
It says that you can buy it on this.
I might be
giving a price, but that doesn't mean that it's available yet.
Maybe there's one coming out for 2020. I don't know. I'm mixed up. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Are we good? Anything else about?
No. It's. I wish I had more time to have reviewed it because I'm forgetting a lot about it. But I do remember it was good.
I wish I had time to play it. All right. Okay. We didn't. I pulled out. Cam said Arkham Horror or Eldritch Horror. Now I played Arkham Horror, so I put that one in there, Cam. But I don't know what the difference is about Eldritch Horror. But maybe as we go through Arkham Horror, you can sort of, if you want to talk about that a little bit, you can.
Sure. The first Arkham game I played was the second edition one, so I don't know what the first one was like. But Fantasy Flight again put out the third version of this. The second edition one was cool, and they had a ton of expansions for it, and it's kind of the pattern of this game. It gets super clunky, when or just it's just there's so much stuff. And it gets to be a pain to set up and everything. So a friend of mine had the second edition and we played it and enjoyed it, but it was like it just became too much of a bother. So um I'll just mention Eldritch Horror briefly. After the second edition, they came out with a game called Eldritch Horror, and the difference between them essentially is that Arkham Horror is themed around Arkham, where you're in the city doing these various activities, and Eldritch Horror is like a global version of the game. So it they all play kind of similarly, but it's very expansive. And I really like it. Eldritch Horror, I bought it. I have all of the expansions for it. Really played it
Really?
quite a lot. Yeah. But again, it's the expansions in that one were a little more like, okay, you play with this expansion, where because they have like extra boards that come into. Well, hold on, let me think about that. They did that for the second edition. I'm trying to remember if they did that for Eldritch. I don't think so. I think it just added different content and different ancient ones and all, a crap ton of content. But it did get a little burdensome. So then they came out with Arkham Third Edition, and I didn't get it initially because I was happy with Eldritch, even though it was kind of a lot to bring to the table. And then a bookstore or something had it on, super sale for like 40% off or something. I said, I'll try it. I'll grab it. And I really liked it. It has a modular board. I don't know if you got any photos of that.
Yeah. This is I think is this the
Yeah.
modular board?
Yeah.
Like I think I played second edition because I don't remember this board, which makes sense because it was a while ago. But anyway.
Yeah. And so these are representing like you could see the things with like the three thirds of a kind of a semi-round piece there. That's like areas of the city. And then you have these, connecting things. So there's a ton of different scenarios for this. So when you set it up, it's like, okay, you play with these things and you play with this kind of connection. The connections are different as well, but they're kind of generic. And then you have different sets of cards that come for each of the different area, different city areas. And basically you're running around with your investigators trying to solve whatever, and it's not apparent always what that is. You have this whole deck of cards, and it's like you start with something out and something you're trying to pursue, and then it says, okay, when you do this, then you go get this card and you read it and whatever. It might be something completely crazy or different. So it's you're chasing around. Like I said, all the games play kind of the same, but this one I think is streamlined pretty well. There are expansions for this. I think I have all of them. But it's one of these games that kind of explode. It's like, the bad things build up and you're constantly racing around making choices of, well, do I put out that fire? Do I put out that fire? Do I try and forward this objective, and let that fire go kind of thing? Not literal fires, of course. Sometimes they are, I guess. But, and again, has variable player powers. All the characters are different. They have their different special abilities built in. They have different equipment, and there's spells and all kinds of different variations you get for this. So it's definitely another one of these games that's you never play the same thing twice, even if it's the same scenario. A lot of content. I don't know if you can get this for cheap still or not, but it's a good game. It's not a top 10 game for me probably, but it's a game I would always be happy to play. It can get very frustrating. This is a game, there's been many times it's like, oh, this thing happens, you're dead. It's just, there's nothing you can do about it, of course that's the Lovecraftian kind of thing. It's just like, you're crazy or you're dead or, whatever horrible happens and you got nothing to say about it. You're just a puny human,
Yeah. I think the third edition is the most recent edition. It's 2018.
Yeah.
And there's a couple, there's some expansions and stuff. And there's, of course, an Arkham Horror card game, which is,
the LCG.
Is that an LCG? Oh, okay.
Yep.
So that's kind of totally different. Yeah.
Well, what do you mean? It's a living card game.
Well, it's different. A living card game is very different from a board game.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, they have a number of other. There's also what's the dice game? It's
they have an Arkham Horror dice game.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what the heck's the name of it? It's Elder Sign. Elder Sign. And that's a pretty fun game too. It's like one of these games where it's like, okay, you're rolling dice, you're trying to match certain things depending on what it is you're trying to do, you know, get certain rolls. And every time you fail, you got to take a die out and then you're trying to get it. It's got a lot of expansions too. Like the first 2 or 3 are good, and then it starts to get crazy, and they weren't really good. They were just kind of nah. But the first couple are you know, the base game and at least one expansion are really good. So it's a fun little game. It's faster, you know.
All right. Okay, let's move along. All right, this next one is mine. Have I told you about this Station Fall?
I don't think so. I've never seen it.
No.
I don't remember if you mentioned
Okay,
it.
so this is kind of I'm not going to say it's a comedy game, but you have to be a little more lighthearted. All right, so it's from up to 9 players, and you can see a lot of the characters there on the front page. The idea being that you're on this station, and the station is it's got a certain number of rounds before it's going to fall into it has broken on it, and it's out of orbit, and it's entry. So you've got various characters, and got certain things that you have to do. So you run around trying to complete your and 2 characters, and this is let's see this next. Okay, so this is I can't really read this. So this is a collection of the characters. You know, you've got as you can see, a cyborg, an engineer, robots, and some people have different things. Like you might be, there is your objective might be there is some sort of virus that's loose. You don't want anybody to escape, because if they do, they'll that virus will go onto the planet and kill everyone. So you don't want to. So you're trying to destroy the station. You don't want everyone to escape. You might be I think there's a mogul type guy character. You're a rich guy. You just want to escape because, hey, you want to live. So all these sort of things are going on. You move around, and I think we have a picture of the board. This is not the typical board. Some people have done things up that it's sideways here on the left side. That's the board. But this is a great 3D representation of which you don't get in the. Somebody built this. I don't think you get this in the game, but and you can see the spaces that you move around. You can move between parts of the station. Your objective might be to send out a message, all kinds of different things. So you move around, you pick up items. You got to find like a spacesuit or a helmet so you can go outside the space station and move around, perhaps, or you need a key to get into the engineering spaces so that you can set the fusion reactor to explode. Maybe you need that pistol there so you can shoot somebody, that kind of thing. So it's very lighthearted. Like I said, up to kind of a good party type game. You've got up to 9 players that can play. The deluxe version, I got it off somebody, so I've got this giant neoprene mat that is huge that makes it a little easier to play. You've got, I think it's 28 or 29 minis that they came with the upgraded version, and so you can move them around instead of the cardboard pictures. But very fun little don't take it too seriously. Have some fun with it. Don't be surprised if your buddy stabs you in the back or something like that happens. Yeah.
Well, you had me until you said party game.
What? My glitchy voice. Is there something? Are we having problems? Yeah. Come on. No, I mean it's not a party game. I didn't say it was a party game. It's a game you can play up to 9 players. I didn't say it was necessarily a party. It's not a party game. It's like a standard board game, but with up to 9 players. What? Where did you get that? Did I say something I didn't think of? No, it's not. It's not a typical party game like I don't know. What are the typical party games? Exploding Kittens, of that kind of stuff. No.
Yeah, okay.
Not doing it now. Okay, good. What did you miss?
From the description, I've not played this game. It sounds. Have you heard of a game called Nemesis?
No.
Okay. Nemesis is a game where you're on a ship, and it's kind of like Alien, like the original Alien, and you have different characters, and you find you're in some sort of situation, and you have different objectives you're trying to complete, and it's kind of like you're trying to help each other, but you might end up screwing the other people over, and so it sounds a little similar to this.
Okay, so that does sound very similar. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one might be lighter. I don't know. Just looking at it, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's like I said, it's something you want to play with. A bunch of people. You get them together, and don't take it too seriously. It's fairly short. Did you read? Well, maybe I should read the description here. It's fairly popular. It's got a 7.7 on Board Game Geek. Here, okay. So imagine a dozen or so random humans, robots, and none of the above, each with their own abilities, goals, and secret relationships, have been turned loose on a space station that is going to be incinerated upon its inevitable re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. You are one of those characters, and the others are collaborators you have on hand, ready to assist you in achieving your goals, but choose them wisely, as any one of them could secretly be another player waiting to betray you. Station follows a box of creative solutions, but that box is going to morph, twist, and grow teeth over the course of play. Your best turns will exploit the unique tactical freedom of being a secret conspiracy, as well as deductions about your opponent's identities and motives. Messy, intricate, full of dangerous vulnerabilities. So kind of one of the key things about this is that you pick, you have two characters that you're playing secretly, but you can move anybody around the board, right? So you move around, and I'm going to move this guy and pick up this. And that might be your character or might not be your character. And at some point, if you don't, you're tired of people messing with your guy or moving him somewhere, or you got him in a position where you want to do whatever it is that you're doing, you reveal that character and you say, okay, and now you're the only one who can now move that character. However, you've told people which character you are, and they can kind of deduce what your probable plans are. So they might be trying to stop you. So so that's a little bit unusual portion of the game, and a little bit of an interesting aspect of it.
Okay.
So you haven't played this one? You haven't tried it? Yeah. I haven't got a chance to play much, to be honest. Getting together, we've played once or twice. We need to get together and do this a little more. I don't know if it's that popular with my group, but like I said, it would work good with Thanksgiving or something. You want to get everybody in there and play a game. It might work well for that type of thing. All right, we'll move on a little faster.
Okay.
All right, Star Wars Rebellion. This is one of my picks.
Oh, it's a movie in a box. It's one of those piece of crap games.
Oh, come on.
Garbage.
So negative. Oh my goodness. Cam, have you played Star Wars Rebellion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like it?
No. It's one of those games that looks like it would be really cool and everything, but it's been years since I played it, honestly. But it was, I don't know, something about it just pissed me off. I'm like, something in the design just didn't get there, I can't say it's all bad. There were some interesting elements to it, but it ended up pissing me off. It's an asymmetrical game, which I do like, meaning the Empire and the the Rebellion playing against each other. It is my favorite era.
Weatherman hates it too.
Yeah, see, Weatherman, you are a brilliant and discerning gentleman. You're always right in line.
Well, I enjoyed it, but I don't have the expansion, which kind of adds a little something, and I think you probably should want to play with it. But it's in an asymmetrical game. It's kind of like the Empire Strikes Back version. You've got you pick a planet, one of these planets you can see there, and that's where your secret base is. And the Empire is trying to find the secret base, and the rebels are you're collecting up some military force. You're trying to advance the track, last long enough so the Emperor can't the Empire can't find you. Move your base if you have to, and possibly marshal your forces, but you'll always be there'll always be more Empire forces than you. But you have the option, the ability to perhaps get a sneaky attack in there, rebel attack, destroy a Death Star or something like that. So I actually enjoy the game. I pulled off one time. I did pull off well, I played with my buddy, and he hadn't played the game before. But just like the movie, I mean, it's kind of, you could do pretty much anything that's in the movie. He attacked my base, but I had it. I knew he was going to jump in there, so I did the old Hoth, escape from the planet type of thing. So
again, the piece, it's like the elements are there where they clearly did understand those things and tried to do it, but in the end, the gameplay for me is just not enjoyable.
Really?
Yeah,
I still enjoy it. I still enjoy it.
It's also long.
Gamma World was not mentioned. No, that's more of an RPG.
Yeah. Right, wait, Madman, bring that up to Jeff and force him to talk about it on the Bad News Bards.
I think I still have a copy of the original Gamma World around here somewhere. But anyway, we're getting off topic. Yeah, go ahead. Why you don't like it?
Well, that's about it. Again, it's been a while since I played it. It felt, I don't know, it felt, maybe this isn't the right term, but kind of on rails. It's like, you're saying, oh, you could do all these things, but I don't remember it that way. I remember it being like, yeah, you're kind of stuck doing this, if you, once you get down that path. I don't know. I don't remember the details that well. I just remember that I don't like it.
I didn't find that, but I mean, you're in, you are. I mean, as the emperor, as the empire, you can sort of I mean, you're kind, you got to find the rebels, so or you got to destroy them or something. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you're on rails in a sense, but you can focus more on sending out more probes and trying to find out, what planet they're not from, because it works backwards, right? Like you take a card for what planet, and the player keeps that, and then you just like, okay, it's not that planet, it's not that planet, it's not that planet. But or you can go forceful, try to conquer them. The rest of the rebels, you can do the same, but it's much much more difficult.
You know what? Okay, this again, I was saying mockingly about, oh, it's a movie in a box. This is not Star Wars movies. This is nothing like the Star Wars movies at all. That pisses me off when people say that. Again, understand,
why do you say that?
Because none of this happens in the movie. I mean, it happens in the background of the movies. You know what I'm saying? But the movies are not this. This is the backdrop for what's going on in the movies, which is a heroic adventure.
Yes.
And again, it's weird for me to say that because I do like that kind of level of stuff, in the setting, but it just didn't make for a good game to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, you are using what you're doing is you are recruiting various characters from the movies, and you're using them to do like it's kind of a hero focused game in that I'm gonna send Luke Skywalker here and he's gonna do something here.
Yeah, but it's kind of just
Solo.
like, oh, I'm using that tool. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
it's a completely different level from the movie. So again, this isn't really a knock on the game. It's a knock on the idiots that say it's a movie in a box.
It's. I mean, you're right.
Did I just call you an idiot? Did I just call you an idiot?
No, you just called yourself an idiot because you're the one who said it was a movie in a box at the beginning. But
no, I was mocking people.
I mean, you're using the your heroes are your basically your turns, and some of them can be captured. That kind of thing. So they are trying to make it like the movie. So you can capture Luke Skywalker or Princess Leia.
It feels like a Member Berries thing to me. It's like, oh look, it's Luke Skywalker. How interesting! It's like, again, this is one of those games. If it wasn't Star Wars theme, zero people would play this game.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it's a horrible system. It's an interesting idea how they set it up. Anything that's asymmetrical is interests me because I like to see how they do it.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It's a challenge too. It is a challenge to make an asymmetrical.
It'd be interesting how they decide to.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
Again, this is one of those games. It's like, it just didn't make it over the hump. You know what I'm saying? It had all the pieces that could have, but then ended up failing in my eyes. It just didn't make it.
The combat system is a little bit, I don't know, unusual maybe, or just a little.
I recall not liking it. I don't remember the details of it, but I remember not.
It's kind of a, it's yeah. Well, I still enjoy the game. I like it.
Okay.
I still play it occasionally. I haven't played it in a while, but I would do it again. All right.
There's all kinds of Star Wars games from a Fantasy Flight. They put out 1 billion of them.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they're not well known for playtesting their stuff,
Yeah, tell me about it.
Biggest weakness. All right. Okay, and I think this is the last one. Will Cam hate this one too? He doesn't know what's coming up.
Probably.
Okay, sorry. That's some of the minis. I think that's not. I think someone brushed them up and made them look prettier for that. That's not what you get necessarily in the box. But all right. Battlestar Galactica. Cam,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
Never played it. I've heard.
Never played it?
No, I don't know why.
Combat
I don't
system is
know.
disjointed on Star Wars Rebellion. I think.
It is.
It is a bit
See, Weatherman right on target.
Yeah.
I've never. I don't know. I know people love this game. It's like one of those hidden. Hidden trader games or whatever. And it was huge, like right when I was getting really heavily into board games back in 2000.
It was very huge. Yeah.
But then it kind of I don't know, it fell to the side, and again, no one ever even offered to play it with me. I would have played it, and I like New Battlestar Galactica. So but
yeah, I have this. I think I have the 2 of the expansions. We played the hell out of this by the time it came out. Played quite a bit. I mean, it's kind of fun. So you're starting out, very similar to the TV show. You're starting on the Galactica, and there are a certain number of you are a Cylon card that go into the deck, and basically everybody's going to get 2 cards. So you go.
This is a social deduction game, isn't it, at its core?
No, not really. Well, somewhat. So the first half of the game. So you've got a certain number of Cylon traders. It depends on how many players, and if Gaius Baltar's in the game, there's an extra trader card that goes in. We had one guy, he loves to play Gaius. I'm like, fuck, just making it hard for the rest of us. Anyway. So those go in, and you basically everybody draws a card at the beginning of the game, but that's only half the cards. So you go, oh, okay, you're not a trader, all right, good, and then you have to work towards stopping these various crises, which inevitably, revolve around the Cylons showing up and trying to blast the Galactica, and then about halfway through the game, you draw again. And the remaining cards, everyone draws a card, and find out if you're a trader or not. And if you have one card that says you're a trader, then you're a trader. So you can spend the first half of the game working with everybody, trying to stop bad things from happening, and then find out, damn, I'm the trader, and I spent all that time working to get the Galactica safe. Damn, now I got to sabotage it. So I mean, there is another there is an aspect of social deduction into it, but you've got, I think it's 5 or 6 different types of cards, and different types of characters will draw different cards. Like the pilots will draw more cards from the pilot deck. Different characters will draw from the various different, I forget which the names of the decks are all done, but in order to do an action, you'll have to put in a certain people will have to put in secretly cards in to make the action successful. Plus the game is going to put in 2 cards at random. So you can kind of go, no one knows what you're putting in, but we failed, and the action will say yellow cards are worth 1 and blue cards are worth 2. Red cards are worth -2, might say something like that, right? So that so people go, okay, put in your blue cards and your whatever, and people put in their cards, and then you're like, oh, we failed, there's 2 red cards in. Oh, somebody could have screwed us, maybe it was the board. You don't really know, but you can try to you might go, okay, well, who has red cards? This guy doesn't have any red cards, but this guy's a pilot and they have red cards, maybe they're the bad guy. And then you can start doing things like putting people in certain characters. You can put them in the brig, space them if you think they're the bad guy, that kind of thing. It's really much better with at least the second expansion, because the the second expansion brings in the Pegasus, which is kind of interesting, but that's not really the big thing. That people like the battle board, which tells you in the original game you would just be, you would flip over the card and be like, oh, a whole bunch of Cylons show up, and it could be a ton of them. But the expansion brings out the battle board where you know what the next group of Cylons that are coming in. So you're like, okay, well, we got to prepare. There's a lot of Cylons coming in, So it makes it a little bit easier and a little sort of more realistic, as opposed to, oh my God, there's a ton of Cylons. Where'd they come from? But the other part of the expansion had the part on, if you remember the show, right, Cam? You've seen the show?
Yes.
The Cylons are shiny metal robots. No, they're they look like humans. Some of them. The show, one of the expansions brought in if you remember, they were on that planet for a year and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they got the Cylons showed up, and then everybody took them over, and then you had to escape. So they're trying to be, kind of true to this TV series, and that aspect is put there, but it's kind of a shitty. Well, people don't like that aspect of the game. It's a little bit, it's not the ground part is not as good. But if you could be the admiral, and you can get on and nobody checks to see if you're a Cylon. You can get on the Galactica before everybody else, and you can just jump away and leave them all stranded. Just kind of a crappy move, but it's a kind of a guaranteed win. But very popular game. Best with sort of 5-6 players, more the merrier. But it's I played the heck out of it, and I think I've got 2 of the 3 expansions. But most people will play the game, the base game, and they will have the first expansion with the board and the Pegasus and stuff. And that's probably the way that most people like. I think the last expansion didn't really add too much to it, if I remember correctly. But definitely the first expansion was very, very popular, and a lot of people would just do the first expansion, and you'd leave out the ground. Pegasus was the first, and then Exodus, and I think Daybreak is the last one. But and you never played it, eh?
No.
We have to get together and try. It's it's fun. Pretty old. It's been a long time, but it's kind of fun. Like I said, the trader aspect. It was one of the first games to have that aspect, so that was a little bit unusual at the time. And everyone's working together. So I mean, if you're the key thing is if you're the Cylon, you want to wait as much as possible and maybe hope that things fail, and then do something, find the right time to do something really, really nasty so you can flip the game. But also, if you're a human and you're starting, the first half of the game, you could become a Cylon, find out later that you're a Cylon. So maybe you don't want to be too helpful, because then, as I said, you've screwed yourself. You made it much harder to win. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any questions? Straightforward.
Yeah.
Not a bad game. I enjoyed it. Played the hell out of it.
Yeah, I've only heard good things about it.
It'd be nice to try it again. It's been a long time. This looks like the base game here. I don't see any expansions. You've got the Cylon Raiders and the bigger Cylon stuff in there, and that is the Pegasus. Yeah. So lots of options, things you can do, but different characters are better at different things. Like I said, the pilots can, going out and flying the ships, they're doing much better versus the president has certain powers, and you'll have. The cards will be, for piloting, for leadership, for, mechanical problems, because inevitably something will go wrong on the Galactica, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Frack that game. Yeah. It's good. I enjoyed it. Okay. Cam, anything else you want to add to? Never played it.
No.
Oldie but a goodie. Okay. Let me see. Do I have the right thing here? Okay, so I'm going to pull up. Part of the reason that we talked about this is I'm going to pull up. Steam has a Board Game Fest, and it's the last day of it is tomorrow. It ends tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So you need to, if you're interested in board games, they've got a number of them up for up for sale. A number of games that you can look at, and a number of games that are similar to board games. So these are all board games, but a number of the board games that you can use and get electronic copies of, which Cam and I have been we've only played one game, but we got Eclipse. It doesn't I want to scroll. It doesn't want me to scroll down. Stupid machine. All right, I can't scroll down for some reason. Let me try it. Want me to do it. This hard technical. Maybe I'm gonna just get out of this and redo. Let's try this. Let me get out of that. Is that working now? Nope. All right. Say something, Cam.
Well, while you're messing around with that, I could suggest another game called Nemesis, which the unnamed game RPG that we're playing sounds a lot like a RPG version of this board game. It is very much like Alien.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know which one came first, to be honest with you. I think Nemesis, the board game, came out in 2018. It's not Alien, but it might as well be. It is one of these games where it's kind of did I already say this? I might losing my mind. It's kind of like a semi co-op game where I said this, didn't I?
Oh, did I lose you? You stopped talking.
No, I just stopped talking because I think I already said this. No, what? Did I talk about this game?
Nemesis? No,
Yeah.
You mentioned it similar to the other one, but you didn't talk in detail. Okay. Orange Green is not in the battle Star Galactica. That's the early version. This is the 2000 version.
Okay. Nemesis is very kind of expensive. Not expensive. It's a big game, and there's a lot of expansions to it. But when I played it was pretty cool. But it is really one of those games where you could lose friends over because you end up screwing them for sometimes for no reason, just because of the sheer joy of it.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. But all good sci-fi game.
Yeah, let me try one more time. See if I can get this thing to come up. I'm not sure. I think it's giving me a hard time. Why is it giving me such a hard time? No, it is not working for me. All right. I'll have to, maybe. One more time. Sometimes, I had it sitting there waiting, and now it decides it's going to screw up on me. Not going to work properly, but all right. I think it's not going to come back. All right. Well, screw that. All right. So, Cam, is there anything we missed? That's pretty much what we wanted to talk about.
I just want to talk about Eclipse more.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
So if anybody
isn't it the best of the ones we talked about?
Eclipse is good, but sometimes board games you kind of get you get after a while you get you can get you play one enough and okay, is this going to work now? All right, it's gonna work. Okay, so anyway, so this is the I was saying that you can get bored of them. You need a little bit of a change sometimes. Anyway, the Steam Board Game Fest, if you're interested, ends tomorrow, 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. And you can get there's a ton of different games on there. Some very popular ones. Root, very popular. I mean, I don't particularly like the game of life. Play that with my kids. Have to. Wing
Yeah,
Band, very popular.
I've never played Root. We should talk about that
Root?
because I
Well,
kind
me
of want
neither.
to try it.
So, yeah, I do kind of do too. Well, it's only 60% off. $7 for Canadians. That's probably cheaper for.
Do you have the? Oh crap, dude! Nemesis is available on Steam.
So Root's it's kind of cutesy, but it's actually a war game. It's kind of different. Like it's kind of weird because it's I haven't played it, but kind of cutesy, but it's actually a kind of a war game. And meanwhile, you get something like let's say Dune is 30% off, but you get something like Scythe is down here, which is kind of appears to be a war game, but it's more of a Euro.
Yeah, it's a completely gay Euro.
Okay, you don't like it. Terraforming Mars, also very popular. I've played a couple times. Not this version. I've played there's an online browser-based version, which is a little more clunky. This is apparently quite smooth. It can be fun. Tabletop. You basically get that. People build and stuff to go in it. You can pretty much game almost that's out. I wonder if your Lord of the Rings one. People go and they make up, and they're not usually as good as the official. Not as it won't be as slick as let's say the Root version on tabletop will not be as slick as the game that you buy from the company that is put together or that kind of thing. However, it'll be there and it'll be free, and there'll be many of them there. So so it can be a good way to try out a game, and it might take a little more figuring out, but they can be good. So you can see, look, they got Dune Imperium, some very popular games. Gloomhaven, Carcassonne. Let me show them a little more. There's
okay.
So many options.
Here's the thing. I wish I could get someone to. I find Tabletop Simulator. It's like the interface of it is. I don't understand it at all. It's like
It's a little bit. Yeah, it's clunky. That's what I'm saying. Right? It can be difficult, but you can figure it out.
Even trying to find a game that I'm looking for, their
really?
search engine seems to. I don't know.
I would use the Steam search if you're going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the easiest way to find things through the Steam. Like you just go to your Steam, you go to Tabletop, you go to the community page, and then it's like looking for, for any game on Steam if you're looking for a mod. So you basically you're looking for a mod, and you'll find them that way and put them in there. But yeah, a lot of Dominion. That's a very popular card game. I play that with. That's free to play. Pick it up free to play. Play that with my. I got that with my kids. Play that. What else? I mean, look at the Game of Thrones, the board game. It was fairly popular when it came out. This one here, Cam, we have to. Mr. President. This is interesting. It's more of a single player. You play like the president through. You do. You gotta read that. That's something that. Appeals to me. Small World. There's Nemesis Lockdown. Cam.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. It's like on sale. It's like I've never played this version. It says it's a real implementation of the original.
Mixed. Now I have Race for the Galaxy. I have a real copy of that, but also a digital copy. You can play online. I enjoy it. I like it.
I haven't played Race for the Galaxy in a long time.
Gaia Project. That's something I wanted to try. I haven't played it.
Oh, that's a great game.
I think I tried it once. Did I try it once? Or it's another sort of space.
Well, that is a re-implementation of a game called Terra Mystica, which which is also a great game. It's kind of a fantasy-ish based one, and this is a sci-fi based one. I mean, it's essentially the same game.
I might have played something different.
But yeah, Gaia Project. That's I really like that game.
Axis and Allies. There you can see they've got Twilight Struggle, which I have a copy of, but Cam hates.
Yeah,
I like.
It's for octogenarians.
I like I like the Cold War. It's an area of interest to me. So you can see there's tons and tons. Even things like Go. There's Eclipse. I don't know if you want to play Go, online.
Wait a minute. What were you just looking? Go back up. What were you looking at? It was. Wait, are these all on Tabletop Simulator, or are these?
No, these are all on this.
Okay, go back up to where you were. There was a game.
This is the Steam. What are you looking at?
I don't know. Just scroll back up.
Twilight Struggle, above Twilight Struggle. What?
Yeah. Oh, Axis and Allies.
Axis and Allies.
I want to see what versions they have.
No deal on it. They want 26 Canadian for it.
1942 version.
Yeah, 1942 online.
Screw that.
You don't like the 42 version?
No. Anniversary edition is great.
Yeah.
42 is like the basic one, I think.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, isn't it? It's the original.
Okay.
What else? Okay, so lots of them. These are, like I said, none of these are on tabletop. I mean, these games are probably all on Tabletop Simulator and more. But these are all games that are put out by the company, so they're going to be a little slicker. The interface is going to be a little better, usually, than Tabletop Simulator. Now, I was reading, and I think Tabletop Simulator is. I think I was reading they're going through a big. They're going to be redoing it as a big update, and that might be focused on. I think 1.4 it's called. Might be focused on making it a lot, easier, more intuitive, and that sort of thing. And they really do need to work on the interface. I mean, I give them props because it's difficult if you're making a thing that everybody's going to work with. You're like, we got to cover all the bases, so it can make it clunkier. But they would gain a lot more if they were making it a little bit more, a little more user friendly and easier to figure out what's going on and stuff. So,
yeah. So, okay. Can I make a few comments on electronic board games? And Eclipse is guilty of this. It's Weatherman. Hope you feel better, man. But
we're getting to the end here.
Yeah. Like Eclipse, it's okay. It runs pretty good generally once you get used to the interface and everything. But there are no like Eclipse has several major expansions and
two or three. Yeah.
I think they have 2 major ones and then a bunch of mini expansions. Ones that were included in the base game, at least in the Kickstarter version of it. And they don't have any of that stuff in there. It's like,
and you can't get them either. They don't
exactly. They don't have it. And it's like, so it's like you're playing, if you're used to playing the regular game with all these different options, it's like, well, I'm going to play the base version of a game. It's like, that kind of sucks, and that's my experience with many app games, whether on, PC or otherwise. It's the same. It's that same flaw. And I just don't understand it. Usually games love DLC stuff, right?
Yeah. Gamers. Yeah.
Games, they just don't do it. I'm going to look up Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, and I got to say, like I said, I've looked at the Eclipse. I mean, the tutorial, while it's fine, there's like they've got they've got text that's cut off at the end, right? And I'm just like, I don't think that's a big deal. I don't care, but it says something that they're not putting enough into like maybe they're not, working on the game a little bit. And I know you gave me shit for this, but I mean, Eclipse is a 8-round game, but why not give us the option of, go playing for 10 rounds or 12 or 6 or whatever we want. I understand that it's supposed to be, and it's set for 8 rounds, but give the player the option. Why not? It's pretty easy to do. And I think maybe we are not figuring out properly, but there's no way to, you can't play an online game. You can't put in a couple of bots. When you're playing by yourself, you could set up
the multi
players.
Right.
And you can have 5 bots to play against you. But if Cam and I play, I don't think we can put a couple bots in there. Why?
Yeah, it's bugged or flawed. They just slap these things out, and they don't do a very good job at them.
Some do, some don't. Some do a good job. So I'm a little disappointed that they do that. And it's been out for a while, and they haven't fixed some of these issues. And you could, I would think it would be a pretty easy fix for Eclipse. Now, that's not to say that, all these games are like that, but sometimes, you got to look in. And like I said, you can look at the, for example, Root here. It says very positive. and then Dire Wolf. These guys are pretty good. People like them, and go down to the reviews and see what people are saying, and you can decide if they're if it's for you or not, if they've done a good job. But a little disappointed the clips. They could have easily fixed those issues, and you think they would be fixed by now. They haven't had the time, but they haven't. They made a G.I. Joe version of Access Now. Did I pass that? I didn't remember seeing that.
I actually have that.
Oh, that would be fun.
And you know what? It's the setting is the Arctic, so you're
is
fighting over Greenland.
Right on.
Yeah.
From the headlines.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I haven't played it yet, though.
All right. Is that okay? That's all I had to say about that. All right,
okay.
Go back. Nothing you had to say about that?
Just one final comment about the electronic implementation of games. It's like, in some ways, like Eclipse, it like sets up super fast and you could play really fast and everything. You don't have any of that kind of overhead in doing it.
Yeah.
But in the end, I'd rather play the board game. I mean, that's about the only thing that's beneficial to it. I guess the fact that I could play against the AI in the single player anytime I want is convenient, but it's really not as good of an experience as, real in-person board game.
I mean, yeah, I agree. But, sometimes you can't play with people because
thousands
of miles away.
Yep.
So in that sense, at least you can get together with your buddies and stuff. And you can have a game, which you wouldn't normally be able to. But
did you ever play a game called Xenoshift?
Xenoshift? No.
Yeah, it was a Cool Mini or Not game. They got that on here too. Oh, they got good expansions for it too. Oh, $2. Dang. I don't need more games. That's the thing.
Xenoshift?
Yeah, I remember. It's been a while since I played that too, but it was pretty fun as I recall. Deck building.
Well, you got till tomorrow. Less than 12 hours, so
yeah.
Decide. People are like, for $5. People are like, maybe pick it up.
Oh man, I could talk about board games a lot.
Yeah. So, all right. So I think we got everybody covered.
Yeah, I'm sorry I've bored everybody with my rambling about board games for that.
That's true. Well, we'll survive.
Yeah.
All right.
We're losing viewers.
Okay.
Quick. We've killed them.
Everybody's leaving. All right. Okay. So that's it for the show. I've mentioned at the beginning of the show the things we want to thank everybody who's come in, who's taking memberships, super chats, all that stuff. It helps us out with the channel and moving along and expanding, liking and subscribing. We're almost up to 700. It's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Now, let me just say that, like I said, this some of this membership stuff is new to me. So anybody out there wants to say, hey, I want an emoji that does this. I want something that does that. Let me know, and I'll see what I can do about it. I appreciate your help saying, hey, do this, do that. If you've got, we can do members only streams. We can do that kind of stuff. So if you're one of those, you've got an idea and you want to say, hey, why don't you do a members only stream about this? We can have Cam singing and dancing. Maybe members want boudoir photos of Cam or something like that. Let us know, and we can set that kind of stuff up. Yeah. And the last thing is Cam and I have been, we've been working on this show. The Babylon 5 show is doing pretty good. But we would like to punch the show up a little bit and I would like to try to make it a little more popular and stuff. So we're trying to, figure out what we do with our shows, because sometimes we're not really, we talk about board games or whatever, and we appreciate people coming out for that. But we kind of try to set things up. We got movie night, which I think is doing pretty well. We're enjoying that. I'm not going to get rid of that. But we also talked about having, some sort of, a game night where we would talk about perhaps board games, perhaps some other types of games. Some sort of panel discussion, but we have to figure out who would be on the panel, what we were talking about, and then maybe some sort of free-for-all discussion. And this would kind of be like a monthly rotation. We do these sort of things, or whenever it it struck us. So if you guys have any ideas about shows that you'd like to see, hey, I would like a panel discussion about this or that. Let us know. I'm interested to get any ideas, especially from the audience, because we do this show, partly for ourselves, but it's also for the audience, because Cam and I could just go on Discord and talk to each other this way if we wanted to. So it's the audience that is the important thing. So if you would like, hey, panel discussions about these things, we should discuss this type of thing. I want to hear about it. And don't say we're not going to get rid of movie night, because I like movie night. We gotta keep movie night.
Snob did tell me that he said, I don't want any more of your stupid tool segments.
No, I like the tool segments. I want more tool segments. Why haven't you gotten and done a tool segment? I think they're great. That's not true. Come on. Cam's trying to get out of work. Ice Pirates. Oh, you want us to do Ice Pirates? That would be actually one of the ones I would put on the list. You know what? I'm going to add that to the list.
I'd watch that.
You watch Ice Pirates? Oh, what else I got? Ice Pirates. I think I have the Dark Crystal on there.
Put up Ice Pirates versus Zardoz.
Are Ice Pirates versus Zardoz for the next thing?
Yeah.
I was going to put Zardoz on there anyway. All right. Well, we got.
Or you could add 2 and just keep Zardoz as the third option.
We have to. I just got to double check and make sure Ice Pirates is available for Soldier with Kurt Russell. You can do that one. That one's pretty old. We kind of like to stick to the older stuff, 70s and 80s, but we don't have to. It's not a rule. It's not written in stone. Ice Pirates, I think, would be a good one on there. So okay, maybe Ice Pirates versus Zardoz, but I got to confirm, like I said, that we could get it for free, because I want everybody to be able to access it so we can all watch it and talk about it. But yeah, all right.
I'm sorry. This is a very late note, but on Board Game Geek, Dune Imperium is listed 5th overall.
Really?
Yeah. But War of the Ring is listed as 8th, and Rebellion 10th. Eclipse, I think Eclipse was at the top at one time. Now the second version here at number 21. So, but these are all high ranked games. Twilight Struggle is now at 14. Twilight Struggle for a long time was number 1.
It was number 1 forever, for years, like a decade. It's because the people who like that game were on there.
Yeah,
but it's kind of
now they've all died, so that's why it's going down.
It's difficult. It's it can be a little confusing. Like I'm still going through and go, okay, well, if it's underlined or if it's in bold, what do I do again? Damn it.
Twilight Imperium 4 is at 6. Gaia Project's at 13. So we talked about a lot of these.
It's changed a lot lately in the past 5 to 10 years. It's been a lot more people coming in, a little bit more flexible. Not like Twilight Imperium is always the best, and we can't have anything better than that. That used to be the way that it seemed to go.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So, anything else, Cam?
No, let us know, everybody, what you think about this. Our plans, our Snob's plans. I just kind of do what I'm told, but we're here. We are, as he said, we are here to serve you guys. So,
yeah, we appreciate the the suggestions. What's coming up next week? Oh, don't know what I'm doing next week. I'm going to be digging through this thing. I'd like to do a panel discussion, but for panel discussions, I like to, Cam and I, but I like to bring someone who's like also in the YouTube space that's an expert on some sort of different area that we might be knowledgeable about, but we're not experts on, and bring them in and let them talk about something, and we question them, and you guys question them and talk about stuff. I think that would be what I would like to do for for that, but we're gonna try to. All right, so let's do. Okay, so Babylon 5 this week. What are we doing, Ken?
I think it's episode 7. Let me check real quick.
Okay, while Cam's doing that, I'm gonna throw up the everybody else's. All right, well, Madman's in there. The ad for Tuesday has the wrong time. It's 3 p.m. Eastern, not 8. Okay, so let me put that one up. I think this is. Oh no, this is last week's. Oh, you know what? I got the wrong one up. Okay, sorry.
It is episode 7, Exogenesis.
Exogenesis for Babylon 5. Okay, so this is not. We're not going to be talking about. Oh no, we are talking about episode 4. Yeah, we're talking about episode 4. This one. It says 8 p.m. Eastern. So don't read that. That's 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay, I pretend that 8 is a 3, and I might be showing up on that episode, so I got that one right. Okay, so other people. Here's this is Madman's regular shows that he has up. Madman Cafe, a Talk with Thursday, and Madman with the Show. It's his regular show, and of course, the Bad News Bards, which Cam also appears on, which is 2 hours before this show on Sundays, and they talk about RPG stuff mainly, and they usually have a lot of guests and stuff in there, so you can talk to people who
Yeah, Culture Casino stopped in.
Snuck in, yeah. I saw that part. Yeah. Also, Outpost Nerd he has a show, Nerd at Night. Check it out there. He's one of these people are all of our affiliates, I like to call them. We all kind of help each other out and promote each other's shows. And of course, this show we have there's our Twitter and YouTube, and the Toplofty Lounge, and the Babylon 5 retrospective. We're on season 3, as we mentioned. Exogenesis. Yeah, I watched part of that. It's a little scary for little old me. And of course, I don't have a slide for him. Jason's going to get me one. But we have Sci-Fi for Me TV. Is he going to have shows this week? Cam, do you know?
I believe so.
He's got some coming up. So his show is usually on 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
1 p.m. Eastern, usually. Not usually every, Monday to Friday, not every day, but usually at least 3 to 4 of the days. Sometimes, he takes a day off, you gotta relax. And he had his show yesterday, I think it was, where they talked about season 4 of Star Trek Academy. And that's up there. You can watch it there if you want. Or you can, come watch us at 3 p.m. on Tuesday, where I'm going to be on Madman's show and talking about it. Okay, did we forget anything? Go watch the Peter Jurisic interview. Yeah, if you like that stuff, it's a good interview. He's a great guy. Check him out. Did I forget anything, Cam? No Escape.
No.
Oh, we're getting suggestions. No Escape for a movie. 1994. That's a little, a little late. We usually like to find the stuff that's a little bit cheesier. Fortress 1992. That sounds like something that might be Fortress. That sounds like it, maybe. Yeah. All right. Okay. Is that it? Anything else I missed, Ken? You gonna be here for Wednesday?
Yes.
Back to our regular scheduled program.
Yep.
All right. Okay, that's it, everybody. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
I haven't forgotten anything. Oh wait, no, I forgot jokes.
Dick.
Cam, what about jokes?
What about
I'm
him?
gonna have. I got a bunch, but no, that one's not good. No. Oh, that's pretty bad. Oh, I don't do that one. Okay, all right. I'm gonna give you 2.
Okay.
How about this? Why did the Scrabble word go to a psychiatrist?
I don't know. Why did the Scrabble word go to a psychologist?
It had trouble connecting with others. And I'll jump over to Discord as well, for sure. And lastly, before we end the show, what's a Canadian's favorite board game?
I don't know. What's a Canadian's favorite board game?
Come on, you don't even know? Not even a guess? What's a Canadian's
I don't know. What's the most boring, lifeless game that there is?
Say it in the chat.
Tic-tac-toe.
If you know the answer. Oh, come on. Canadian's favorite board game.
I don't know. That's a good one.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks for coming.
We will see you next week, and hopefully on Wednesday. Good night.
can people say